Good day, Broad Coven Collective. Thank you for dropping in with me. We got a special reality tunnel that we're activating for this week, and it is to align with the Muse and also the spirit of the wind. So we are bringing this energy in to sort of blow out all the cobwebs and clear the slate, clear the consciousness, because we do have Ostara, or spring equinox, coming in next week on the 19th at 11:06 p.m. in the east, okay? And it's going to be a really potent spring season. There's a lot of new beginnings that are coming in. Specifically, you are about to align with somebody very special who will be an important person of interest on your path. This person is going to present an opportunity to you for growth on your path, but also to awaken certain aspects of yourself that you haven't been in touch with either for a long time or that you have not been in touch with at all, okay? This is somebody from your soul family, all right? You do have a lot of shared connection with this individual. You may have never met this person in this life up to this point, but when you meet them, there will be instant soul recognition. And so the reality tunnel we're setting for this week is going to give you clues about this. It's going to help align you with your internal muse that will sort of become like your spiritual GPS to guide you in the next steps you need to take and the direction that you need to head in, to sort of have this person just kind of like cross your path, or for your frequencies to come into alignment so you can gravitate toward each other. All right, this is what's coming in. So first things first, you have a little assignment, so you can carry a talisman with you of sorts that will help you activate the Muse energy and put you in the flow of this very special synchronicity. So it's a little bit of a treasure hunt, not a big deal, all right? But what you need to do is go out, and the very first feather you find, the very first one, pick it up and carry it with you throughout this week, all right? That feather will be the essence of the spirit of the wind. You also want to make sure that you're paying attention whenever the winds blow. Just notice what's happening around you. Notice the direction the wind is coming in from. All of this will give you certain information about your next steps or what the message could be. Notice what your thoughts are at the time, all right? Now, this feather, I don't care if it's dirty. I don't care if it's the teeniest, tiniest feather you've ever seen. This is not about trying to find the best, most beautiful feather you can find. It's about the first one that crosses your path. Only the first one that you find will carry the potency of the spirit of the wind and activate the muse for you. And from there, you're going to really want to pay attention to any inspired ideas you have, like, oh, I should go to this place, or I should pick up the phone and give so-and-so a call. You know, whatever directives come in, pay attention. Pay attention to what inspirations come through and act on them, okay? This is just the beginning. There will be more coming in, and I may bring in more little updates and more like shorts this week, things of this nature that build on this. But this is just sort of a starting theme. I almost have the sense that there might be a little bit of a treasure hunt vibe to this, okay? But it begins with first the feather, all right? So first feather you find, carry it on your person, carry it on your person for the whole week, and it'll guide you, all right? You do want to get out and about too. So even if you just go out for a daily walk, get the energy moving. It was 4:44 on the clock when I brought that in. That will be very helpful. And we're going to start off with a very special deck. This is the Goddess Guidance deck. And I came across this deck in a very synchronistic manner. I'll bring that in later on this week, okay? I'm not going to tell the story of it, but it was guided to me by the Muse. So we're going to go ahead and see what baseline energy is for the collective as we head off on this adventure. Do you see? We have Diana in reverse, okay? This is focused intention. Keep your unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions focused on your target, and you will make your mark. So we see that we need to harness that wind energy a bit. Right now, your thoughts may be a little bit scattered. You may be a little bit up in the air. It's interesting because we will be starting our community Panchakarma here also next week. We're going to start it on Wednesday, the 20th, all right, which is just after spring equinox. It will be the appropriate time to do it, though we're not going to kick it off at 11:06 p.m. at night, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get that kicked off on the 20th. There will be a course, free course, that will be in blog format that you can follow along with if you weren't fortunate enough to grab the course while it was still up on the website. But we'll be going through that together as a community, and I'll be dropping in Wednesday through Saturday next week live. I'll have a set time in the morning. I'm thinking 11 a.m. in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll be doing a live touching base, and we'll be just getting into it, okay? So it's natural at this time, at this point of the change of the seasons, to have this sort of quality of mind where maybe you don't feel very focused or you don't feel very clear. You can feel a little scattered. The energy can be a bit dissipated. And this is because we're coming out of Vata season and into Kapha season. Kapha season is associated with water and earth. So think unctuous earth, verdant earth, fertile earth, where all things grow and come into being. It's a really beautiful energy, but the transitionary time can be a little interesting. So we're working with that spirit of the wind. We're working with that Vata energy to hopefully harness some of that, pull it down and root it in our material reality. So it's a great time to tap into this sense of focus. Right now, we need to bring things into focus if we hope to hit the mark and open up a bold, bright new chapter with the spring energy. And the spring is really going to pop off. There's a lot coming in. So let's get some more details here. What does the collective need to know about this week's reality tunnel and opening up to the muse, the spirit of inspiration, and the spirit of the wind? Also notice when you hear wind chimes, when you see pinwheels, you know, all of these things that are associated with the air element. Pay attention to your feathered friends, the birds, what direction they're flying in, what type of birds you are noticing in your environment. They're coming in pretty strongly right now. They have been coming in for a few weeks, really. That medicine coming forward very powerfully at this time. I got hawk medicine coming in. Hawks are all about messages from spirit, so do look for this medicine to be front and center. And when we're thinking of bird medicine, it's not just if you happen to see a bird in your environment, it's also when you're coming across bird imagery or if you're finding feathers. So pay attention to these things and just notice how the messages are delivered to you, right? It's taking its time to harness the energy. Ooh, oh, this is powerful. Okay, we have Sekhmet. Be strong. You are stronger than you think you are, and your strength ensures a happy outcome. So Sekhmet is also a lot about boundaries, okay? So knowing where you need to draw your line and knowing when you really have to take a stand and not allow yourself to buckle under pressure. So I do feel like part of what may be kind of making the mind go into this unfocused place is you might be pulled in a lot of different directions according to other people's ideas, their opinions, their reactions to certain directions you want to head in. This is about you really standing strong in your truth, knowing when to lay down those boundary lines and saying, you know what? No, this is my choice. This is my life. This is the direction I need to move forward in. I know what I'm doing. I know what feels right for me. This gives me the impression that something is going to come in throughout this week that really inspires your new direction forward. And with that Muse activated, it will put you really in harmony with this sense of single-minded focus. That's what I got, single-minded focus. And when it comes in, when the Muse gets activated, there's this sense of sureness that nothing can shake. So some may be kind of off put by this. Maybe you've been a little bit scattered for a while. You've been just kind of like aimless. And once this gets activated, you're going to have a certain determination that might throw people off a little bit. And they're going to go, wait a minute, what's going on here? You might find some challenges with Leos. I see that with the lion energy here. It's possible, okay? Be aware of strength has nothing to do with exercising pride, okay? It's not about being forceful. It's not about throwing your weight around. True strength is being in that place of just calm centeredness. It can be like a tornado is whirling all around you, right? But you're in the calm center and you're holding that line, holding that focus, holding that vision. So I feel like that's what's really coming in at this time, is being mindful of the need to sort of take the bait when other people provoke you, poke at you because they may not agree with your choices or where you are taking a real stand. They might try to give you some pushback. This is being mindful that you don't need to feed into it. You don't need to take the bait. You don't need to give pushback. You don't need to be in a reactive space. You can simply stay sure in your truth. In fact, that will speak a lot more boldly than firing off any kind of like aggressive words or counter arguments, okay? This is about you just being in that place of sureness. So this is what the Muse is going to help invoke within you as well. I like that. Okay. Any other details about this? And then we're going to go ahead and move on to another deck here to paint more of a picture about these connections coming in. Maybe speak to the connection coming in. Spirit, can you give a clue about that? Give a little of this goddess guidance coming in regarding this connection that's going to cross the collective's path this week as this Muse gets activated. I feel like this person like ignites something in you. It ignites your creative fire, but also a bit of enthusiasm and passion for your life again. Woo! That really flew out. Look at this, medicine woman, okay? So some of you are coming into contact with somebody who's going to awaken your natural gifts. These can be shamanistic gifts awakening in you. You may connect with this through your bloodline. We have Ishel here, medicine woman. You are a channel for divine healing powers. So this could be an important Muse that's coming in on your path who's going to guide you in your spiritual growth so you can uncover your healing gifts. We all have healing gifts. We all have abilities. We all have medicines that we're here to share. So something is coming in that's going to align you with certain latent powers, okay? You may not have activated these powers yet. And those of you who are already on a path where you do healing work, where you are in touch with your clairs and the different gifts that you have, you're going to uncover new gifts that you have not discovered before. But I feel it's through the activation of somebody very specific coming into contact with you. There's something that happens that sparks this awakening in you. And so be on the lookout for this. And it might be a tower at first with that lightning in the background. You know, when this comes in, it's sort of like blows your mind. It blows you wide open. It comes in like a lightning bolt. Some of you may be going through a real rewiring, okay? You might notice new sensations in your body, sort of electrical impulses, synapses firing off as this comes in. Some of you are really clearing the channel, okay? this might be necessary, especially if your energy has become very scattered because it's pulled in too many directions. You have too many other people's opinions, input, guidance sort of flooding through you. I don't feel like this person you're coming into alignment with takes you further outside of yourself. They're more here to come in as a mirror to show you the true nature of who you are through the interaction. There's something here that there's a recognition within this person that you're coming into contact with that, oh, I am that, okay? This person is not here to lead you astray. They're more to awaken you to the power that you hold within you. I do feel that this will be a very like electrifying, charged experience in how you experience it internally. And that this should be anticipated. This should be anticipated because it's what's needed to clear the channel. So do expect this kind of electrifying moment where the contact is made. Now, how is the contact made? This could be a stranger that just passes through. You have an interesting interaction with a stranger as you're out and about. And there's something unusual about this connection. You might feel this like current run through you at that time. There's something that just feels a little extraordinary, a little out of the ordinary about this encounter. Well, there are no ordinary moments. So trust what comes through, because if it feels like that, then it is that, right? And this is a key here. You really have to go with what you feel and kind of get out of the rational mind as you move into this musing energy, because musing energy is inspired energy. But you are meant to make contact with this individual because they're going to awaken some gift within you, some magic, some power within you that you have not had access to before. Now, could this be from somebody who will become a regular part of your life? Could you be coming into contact with a teacher? Absolutely. Could you be coming into contact with a soulmate, somebody who you are going to have a relationship with? Absolutely. Could this be coming through a message from somebody, maybe even somebody you already know? It could, all right? The point is to be very open, and there's something about pay attention to the feeling. It's all about noticing what you feel, not what you think when you have this encounter. And it will be undeniable because there's some kind of exchange that produces this like electrifying result. I got this. This is the way it's coming through. So this is a very powerful medicine. Some of you may have Aztec ancestry, Mayan ancestry. Okay, this could be coming through very strongly for you. You may be drawn to Curandissimo, okay? This might be something you haven't explored before. I also recommend, you may contact with water as a way to sort of like cleanse your body too. So you might want to engage in some spiritual baths. You can even do spiritual showers or pour overs. Okay. So also kind of get the channel prepared, because I feel like whatever is coming in here is sort of coming in like a lightning bolt to clear out all the cobwebs, clear the channel so this activation can come on through. Really potent medicine. All right, let's go. I want to do a cut of this deck too. 19 on the clock. Yes. Okay. 10. 10 energy. Something is coming to a close. The old cycle is coming to close. So there can be an activation of the new cycle through this encounter. All right. Ah, yes. And it brings a golden opportunity with Yamanja. Important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them, right? And there's the water indication there too. So do engage in some spiritual baths, can be very helpful. It can also be really a wonderful opening to the new chapter in spring to do a milk bath, right? And make it a white bath where you bring together 5 different white ingredients. You can use milk, you can use cream, you can use coconut milk, you can use sugar, you can use salt. Okay, you bring in all these different ingredients, 5 different white ingredients, white rose petals, white rose infusion, And you can bathe in this also, or do a pour over of this also, as a way to not only cleanse, but invite in blessing energy. White baths can be very helpful with opening up to the new energy coming in with spring, and just to encourage those blessings to flow in. Yemanja is also the Orisha of the ocean, and she is all about giving over, letting go, surrender, opening up to source, and allowing what is meant for you to flow in for you, instead of trying to push the river, trying to force a fit. Okay, so there is a lot here about just being open to the experience, getting out of the BS, the belief systems, your fixed ideas about things, and just open up to the current of energy and see where it leads you as you move through this week with this musing energy. Ooh, yes, and I love it. Freya, come on through and be bold with it, okay? Be bold. Unleash your adventurous side, take risks, be daring. Okay, so like I was saying, once you get your feather, all right, it's going to contain within it the spirit of the wind. So go where the wind carries you. Trust those inspirations that come in. You know, it may seem a little silly to you, but just trust. And when you follow your inspiration, what you're doing is you're actually aligning yourself with the spirit of the wind, with that musing energy, and you're also allowing yourself the opportunity to enter the flow of synchronicity. And you'll be surprised if you just trust, if you take the risk to get out of your set ideas about things, and if you play with the energy of it. Remember, having that spirit of play and creativity definitely encourages spirit to come on through and interact with you, co-create with you. You'll be amazed what you discover, but I do feel like there's a significant connection that you're going to make, okay? And you never know, you know, sometimes, you know, strangers can be angels in disguise. 22 on the clock. So they're still here. Let's go ahead and pull out this angel tarot and see what comes in. Queen of Swords, that's the truth. Big Libra energy, South Node energy. There's something that's coming in through this encounter that will actually align you with a particular truth. And we see that sword is a flaming sword of truth. So it's given big spirit of blue energy. This actually allows you to get that focus, to set your sights so you can be prepared to advance in a certain way of sureness, where you know the course you're supposed to set. There's something about this connection that makes everything crystal clear for you. And it says ritual and ceremony can acquire all the treasures of heaven and earth. So just view this as a ritual of sorts. View this as a ceremony that you are opening up into this week, and trust that all things that come on your path are part of this grand working that you're doing. Each element plays a role, right? This is what's going to unlock your treasures. 23:33 on the clock. It's this change that's coming on your path to spark the initiation of the new beginning and give you the essential help, support, and building blocks you need for the new chapter that's opening up for you. Because everything is going to be brand new with spring. I'm feeling it so strongly this year. There's always a sense of newness with spring, but there's something very different about this spring that is a huge igniting force for coming into alignment with the North Node. And maybe this is because we're entering that last round. You know, this is the final year that we'll be moving through that age of the Kali Yuga. And when we get to summer next year in 2025, we'll be having the shift of the nodes of destiny. So whatever is getting kicked off in spring is so potent, it's so powerful. You'll look back at this moment and say, this is where it all began. It really has that sense. So the person you're coming into alignment with, this Kismet meeting, okay, this is somebody that they are part of your soul family, even if they're just breezing on through, even if it's just a stranger that you're having a conversation with. Pay attention to this moment and really understand the value of it, because it's a seed for your future, and this thing will sprout and this thing will grow, and it leads to a big harvest for you. A year from now, you will see the power and truth of this. All right, let's check it out. What do you want us to know about this, angels, as we activate this musing energy this week? What do you want the collective to know as we activate this musing energy this week? Yes. Okay, so we have a lot of energy in reverse here. So we have 6 of Wands in reverse. So where you feel like you've been on the losing end of some situation, or you just feel like giving up because you just feel like no matter what I do, I can't seem to turn things around. I don't see how things could get better. You're going to be given what you need to actually elevate you in the way you're meant to rise, all right? You didn't necessarily have your sights set in the right place. You're still clinging to something that's actually weighing you down, is preventing you from taking flight. It's blocking your sense of inspiration, right? And you're breathing too much life into this thing when you're meant to take in fresh air and experience this new expansion, okay? So you will be releasing something as well as you move through this week. It's going to become very clear what you need to let go of. So this is that, like, clearing out the cobwebs so you can get a clear view. And in some way, you know, this is a real sabotaging influence that you're holding on to with the Page of Swords in reverse. Now, I feel like you've been taking refuge in this place and you've been holding on to this because it's familiar. And even though it's uncomfortable, and even though you don't feel fulfilled, and even though you feel like, you know, is this as good as it gets? In some way, it does offer you a little bit of stability, okay? But there's something you really need to understand here, and that's that you're denying yourself the opportunity to be inspired, to breathe new life into new dreams. And it was 27:11 on the clock when I brought that in. Again, that's why you're coming into contact with this particular person, this muse, right? They are meant to bring you into alignment with your path and the new direction. They're going to give you that spiritual activation, and it awakens up something in you that's the building block of your future. They're going to reveal a mystery to you that is normally hidden from mortals. Right now, you don't know it. You don't see it. You don't see your gifts. You don't see the way forward. We got big Emperor energy in reverse. This makes me automatically think of Aries North Node. See, you're still hanging out in the South Node. You're still locked in the old karmic cycle, and that's why you need this Tower of Swords. But don't worry, it's not a tower that tears you down. It's a tower that helps you rise, okay? Rise up out of the rubble, rise up out of the ashes, and have a new inspired way of moving forward. This could be coming in very strongly for Aries, for Taurus. We also had, let's see, we have Swords energy in here pretty strongly. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini so far, okay? But this applies for all of us because we have Libra in the South Node, and we have Aries in the North Node. We want to move toward our destiny, but you can't do it if you're still finding refuge in the old karmic cycle, okay? So we have to allow ourselves to be sort of shaken out of our inertia, and something's coming in to shake and stir us in this regard, okay? And it'll give us safe travel as we head on up to that North Node, because anytime we go for our destiny and we're transforming fate, all right, it can be a little daunting, especially because you can be kind of gun shy, you know? It's got that vibe, like once burned, twice shy, you know? It's hard to put yourself out there if you've been going through something really heavy. But you can rest assured that this is coming in to empower you. This meeting is coming in to empower you, activate you, and give you what you need to have safe passage up to that North Node. So just trust. You might be skeptical right now. I mean, look at the face on this Emperor, like, yeah, right. Okay, fine. I'll find my feather. It looks like you Oh my gosh. Yeah, look at this. Death in reverse. Like, you gotta let it go. You can only grieve something for so long, 30 on the clock, right? This helpful influence is coming in to assist with closing up the old cycle so you can actually start to see a new way into being. If you continue to look at what closed, you can't ever even be open to the new openings that want to come in on your path, right? And this is just going to continue to drain your energy, drain your vitality if you continue to sit here at the crossroads. So it's time to let this go. All right, now that we got this upright, let's see. What else do you want us to know, Angel? So we had Scorpio energy come in there with the death, all right? So there might be something that's still left over from the past cycle that we had with the nodes of destiny back when Scorpio was in the south node, right? So there might be something that you're needing to wrap up that you're still holding on to or that you haven't processed that goes all the way back to, gosh, let's see, that would be 2021, 2022, opening of 2023. All right. So there's something that you still need to kind of like process, come to a sense of peace and closure with, if even within yourself and your own heart, just to understand that, yeah, that might have been rough or it might have been painful, but there's still opportunity for something new. And in fact, you need to kind of see it as your saving grace because it illuminated a certain truth to you that is what gives you the empowerment to actually rise into your destiny. When you understand what your true calling is and what you're being asked to step into now, again, a year from now, you will look back at what started now and you'll go, I'm so glad everything went down the way it did. I wouldn't have it any other way, but it's always like that, right? Hindsight is always 2020. So just open your mind a little bit, play a little bit, and just see what comes through. Just take the risk to view life as being in your favor, all of life working on your behalf instead of life working against you, and just trust in the magic and the flow. And if you're like, this is just nonsense, I can't believe in this, like, I don't have time for childish games, well, that's the problem. If you don't have time to view the world through the eyes of a child, that's where the problem is. Because children have all possibilities open to them. They're not tainted yet. 32, 44 on the clock. This is the change that you need to put you in the flow of synchronicity and alignment. Right? It's a building block for your future. This will give you something to work with the 8 of Pentacles. It's worth your investment. It'll grow. Intellectual talent provides knowledge, you'll see. So where you can't see now, you will be able to see if you can just engage your imagination, Open up your mind to the spirit of imagination. It's our imagination that makes all things possible. It's our imagination that invites in a spirit of play and laughter and that buoyancy that can help lift us out of heaviness and inertia. So invite a little bit of that in. And what do we got here? Oh, yes, judgment. Okay. Then you will find that everything that transpired and everything that goes down this week is in perfect order. In fact, it's a judgment in your favor. This will help you make up for any errors or help make up for where you feel like you got off course or where the path went awry. There's no going awry. If you were detoured, you were meant to. There was something that you needed to learn and something you needed to integrate through that process, even if it was a painful experience. And it says, destroys the power of enemies and humiliates them. Okay, so wherever you feel like you've been dealt a raw deal or somebody got one over on you, this is all about you reclaiming your sense of personal empowerment and not giving the reins of control over to anyone's judgments about you, your life. This is about you really recognizing that your path is perfect as it is, foibles and all. Even when you trip and fall, there's something you can learn. It teaches you a new way to rise. And it was 34:44 on the clock. 744 energy. All right. Do you see the synchronicity, the alignment, the spiritual play? Those who have eyes that can see will find it. They'll find the signposts. They'll find the magic. They'll find the synchronicities. But if you go out into the world and you're shut down and you're like, no, it's just going to be more of the same, or this is ridiculous, this is stupid, there is no magic, there is no spirit of imagination and play, that's child's play, well then, you know, you're not going to have a very enjoyable life experience, you know, out of the mouths of babes. Let's remember that, you know, they do have more wisdom than a lot of the adults, those kids. And it's because they haven't been tainted, they haven't been jaded, and they're still able to be open to possibilities. So invoke a little of that spirit. Who knows? Maybe the stranger that comes onto your path is a child. Maybe it's something a child says to you that wakes you up, you know, out of your sense of responsibility and has you letting down your guard a little bit. And then you find your life flows a little easier, you know. Don't take it all so seriously, all right? You got to allow yourself to dream a little bit. This is so important. And whatever is happening this week, you'll realize that there is a judgment in your favor. There's something coming in that makes up for the losses and where things feel like they really took a left turn, all right? And things are going to be set right. It's going to feel good to you. You're going to be happy to close the old cycle with the world. And there's success in doing this, right? Fixed sign energy coming in, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius here, right? So get out of the fixed position. Get out of that set viewpoint, that set state of mind. It invites in more creativity, more flow, and more opportunity. It's also possible that you may be closing something of great importance this week. And though that may feel challenging to you, on the other side of this, there's success, there's renewal, there's so much more. And look at this, it says, Fountain of Wisdom gives success in all ventures. So again, there's something that gets kicked off by this meeting that's the seed for your future, and it provides the new direction. This new direction is key to unlocking the full potential of your North Node. So pay attention, all right? Cut of the deck energy. Six of Swords. Yes, moving away from the troubles. Look at this. I love the arm, just like sweeping away all that's been obstructing the path, finding the way forward. It says perception of unity, protects against accidents, and heals the sick. So where you just felt depleted and like no enthusiasm for your life, there's going to be this renewal coming in. Beautiful energy, okay? Renewal coming in. And this is when all the obstacles that were in your way are being swept clean from the path. And you see there's no swords here coming forward. You're not bringing forward swords with you. Oh, beautiful. So we see this angel is holding daffodils or narcissus. Okay, so this is coming in as a plant ally, right? So be on the lookout for that too. Notice where you see daffodils starting to sprout, narcissus. Pay attention when you see daffodils or narcissus. And again, even if you don't see it in the physical environment, if you come across it, you're scrolling on social media and here comes something with, you know, a picture of daffodils. Pay attention, right? Work with the energy here. That's coming in very strongly as a plant ally. So maybe I'll do some kind of video or short about that particular medicine and what it offers. There's something there. There's a key that helps release troubles and sweeps the path clear. All right, let me see what's on the other side here. 5 of Wands. Yes, I love this, okay? So this is getting your passion for life back again. This is about activating the fire within, which ironically is what we do when we enter into Panchakarma, which is what we'll be doing next week. We're stoking the fire. We're stoking the fire to blaze a new trail forward, okay? So this is actually getting the fire working for you in a positive way. This is playfulness. This is spiritedness, all right? Five of Wands is not always conflict. And it doesn't really come across as conflict in this card at all. There's a certain freedom. There's a certain upliftment that's coming in here. And I dare say that reminds me a lot of the Spear of Lu, okay? So what you get coming in this week does ignite the path forward. It was 40:11 on the clock. So much alignment, so much building block coming through this meeting, all right? And where there has been sort of like cross purposes, where you have been dealing with factions or where you have been dealing with competitive people and all this nonsense. No one says you have to be part of that. As soon as you just withdraw your energy from the spirit of competition and instead focus your sights on collaboration, and beginning in this way by collaborating with Creator, collaborating with Mother Nature, collaborating with all of life, by willing to play with the energy that finds its way onto your path this week, the more you move out of this divisory mindset. And when you come into that state of unity consciousness, it's amazing how things start to line up for you and everything starts to flow. The more you find yourself butting your head against something, the more you know that's not the direction to go. That's not the right spirit to show up. So check yourself when you encounter that as well, so you can remove those blockages and enter into the flow of where the energy is carrying you, all right? It says here, wins judgments and protects all those who seek the truth, all right? So be brave. Be brave. Look at things as they are. Don't resist the truth, right? Acknowledge it and understand that what is happening now is a judgment in your favor. It's leading you to the activation of your North Node. It's leading you to a new direction that's going to inspire you. And whatever you're encountering, whoever you're encountering this week, there's something very significant about this meeting that's going to awaken gifts in you. And these gifts are things that you will be carrying forward with you in your future. And just watch at how they take root and what grows from the seeds of humble beginnings. Stay tuned.